You mentioned that you're 12 weeks along and you went to the ER because of a bleeding episode, and they said that you had a tear, a subchorionic hemorrhage, and a low-lying placenta, all of which probably contributed to the bleeding, and you're wondering if the pregnancy is threatened. And I wish I could say that I knew that for sure, but unfortunately these complications do often threaten pregnancy. A subchorionic hemorrhage is a collection of blood between the uterine wall and the chorionic membrane. And the collection of blood can be large or small, and the prognosis of pregnancy depends on its size and the point that it happens during the pregnancy. So if it happens earlier on, it's not as likely to threaten the pregnancy as if it happens in the late first trimester or early second. Especially if it's large, one of the things that can happen is that it starts to cause the placenta to tear off the uterine wall. And I'm wondering if that's what happened when they said that you had a tear. Again, I don't know the details of your situation, but if the placenta starts to prematurely detach from the uterine wall, that's called a placental abruption. And a low-lying placenta can be a problem in the future if the placenta doesn't move away from the cervix. What they're saying is that right now the placenta appears to be attached near the cervix, but as the uterus grows, as your baby grows, then the placenta can pull away from the cervix. It doesn't grow legs and move up the uterine wall, but it's kind of like a balloon. If you see a balloon that's not blown up and has words on it, they might appear to be towards the base of the balloon, but as you blow it up, they're pulled up and now they're at the top of the balloon. It's because they were always there in the first place. That's where the words were on the balloon, but as the balloon grew, they got farther away from the base. And that's kind of what happens with the placenta as the uterus grows. If the placenta continued to stay close to the cervix, you would be monitored closely and they would see how it progressed over the course of your pregnancy. If it continues to stay low or it's over the cervix at all, then that's a placenta previa. That means that you wouldn't be able to have vaginal delivery. You would have to have a C-section, and women with placenta previas are usually admitted a few times before they deliver their baby because of bleeding episodes. They're monitored closely. The risk for preterm labor and delivery is high. So again, all of the complications that you talked about do threaten the pregnancy. It puts you at higher risk for miscarriage, for stillbirth, and it all has to do with the fact that you're losing blood and your baby may not be getting enough. So if the pregnancy continues, it will put you at higher risk for things like intrauterine growth restriction or IUGR, and that's where the baby doesn't grow as well. They're small for their gestational age because they're not getting the best blood flow. Puts you at higher risk for preterm labor, for preterm delivery, the need for a C-section and early delivery, hospital admission and monitoring. So again, I just recommend staying in close contact with your doctor and let them know if you start to bleed or contract and hurt at all. And after performing an exam, they'll decide if further investigation or medical intervention is necessary for you. Good luck with everything, and if I can answer more questions for you in the future, I'd love to. You can ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Intermountain Moms and recommend us to your friends and family too.